The 4 stars of the Xilonen and Kiori banner are rubbish. But we have good news about both the drip marketing of Ororon of Chasca, of the 5.2, and of the pre-discharge of the 5.1 that comes with a lot of information loaded. Besides, personally, I also have good news with Dory, that this can explode your head and say, "What do you mean, Dory? Good news. Leave a good like, a good alt here, Bennett, subscribe, leave a good comment to us in the comments." And finally, thanks for enjoying and watching the video and the channel. Today, we are going to see the 4 stars and the weapons of the banner of the 5.1 Xilonen Chasca, and also a surprise of the second half of the banner of Hu Tao in Ahida. Apart from guns and besides drip marketing, some news that have come out today along with all this wave of information. Thank you. You know it doesn't cost you anything, so leave a good like, subscribe with bell. I help the channel a lot. Position and recommend the video, and the entire channel team will be super grateful. And welcome and guests to the directs. Link down here in the description. We got Collie, we got Candace, and we got Dory. Already, Hoyovers knows that Xilonen is a goal breaker and has set us 4 unfortunate stars. Dory mainly serves us for nothing. It's like a much worse cookie that generates and the truth that heals a little bit more, but it exploits much worse the hyper blooms and applies less electro to be able to do the rest of the reactions. What's the good news about Dory? That I'm doing crazy things, and basically it was a challenge to max Dory, and with the cheeks try to make teams that get off the very fast abyss and have good content for you who likes Dory and learn how you can max it. I'm already up from 80 to 90 and I'm just missing constellations to be able to play it because Murphy's Law. When you want a bad 4 stars chicks, it never comes out, and I wait a couple of years to have Dory chicks so I can do. So at least I'll have Dory chicks understand me, and you'll finally have Dory D-Pieces challenge tearing apart abysses. Then Candace. The truth is that if you have a small place today, it is not used in general. Its real use, and the only place where it has a small hole where it does a good job, is carry in the field with Candace. Katsuha Xiangling Bennett. Today, Kazuha Xiangling Bennett are used in 80,000 teams that make a lot more, including equipment specifically Xiangling Bennett with Kinnish and equipment specifically with Mualani, and then Bennett for everything. The rest of the teams of the game and Kazuha is more of the same. But apart from this spot team, you could play Candace, and that brought out a good potential for people who like the character to this day, and even if you may come to surprise has one more team and it's next to Mualani. Candace can be played on a Xilonen team. Xiangling, Candace, and Mualani, and can do us a very good job to max out the damage of Mualani, both with the damage of attacks. Candace is normal with new weapons that give us life percentage to buff far even more, since the normal attack damage of Candace has no limit in proportion to the total life that Candace has, and apart gives us the hydro consonants to have more life in Mualani. Spoiler. If you put Fiorina on this team, it will give you more harm inflicted on Mualani, with which it is better to put to Fiorina than to Candace. But if you intend to release a Fiorina for another team, and that your Mualani makes bites of much more the damage you were doing so far, Candace has at least a good team. Collet is a 4 stars inside that at the time when Collet came out, plus the Traveler inside were the only characters inside with which people played them and learned from the teams inside, and today above. Of Collet and the Traveler inside, there are infinite characters that do it better considering the characters that play the role. Zimila that is inside the field to apply them in a sub-DP size. We have Emily, we have Nahida, and then we have a lot more combinations, so Collet today is no longer used but not misused. In Bloom teams for example, because it has many sticks in the ulti, or in teams of Agravite in general, although Kirara does not. We have Xilonen's gun and Kiori's gun. Personal opinion, Swite is not worth it. Xilonen's weapon barely gives a 25% elemental damage to equipment and statsa. That gives you for the Xilonen itself, which is 20% elementary damage to the Xilonen itself. And defense you don't care because Xilonen, with double defense and a helmet of probability already cures you enough, and you will be able to even play the triple defense and looking probability in the substat to put Favonius, so there's a point where the defense with Xilonen is left over because In addition, defense only cures more, and with 2 items of defense already cures, you already have overheating. So the guns are Svite in general. Kiori's weapon, you'll tell me a lot, is Phil, but Xilonen DPS, I've talked to the community. And I'm going to add a part of DPS to Xilonen's guide because I know people want everything to be DPS, but I'm not going to recommend. The weapons, specifically this time, are a Svite. I don't recommend the weapons banner. And Xilonen's gun isn't so good to think about saving for Mavuika, for Chasca, for everything that comes, or even think about pulling through the C2 better than the weapon today, and the other stars are Ororon to this day good for me, and my already but little more very bad. Great sort of sacrifice for Kave in Bloom for Dory, if only to have double elemental but... Then the catalyst weapon of Favonius, which does not serve anyone today, and is not what I... And the sword of one hand that, even though it looks like a controllable, is supposed to be a sword of one hand that you will be a... Zhang here is a sword of one hand that gives you a lot of attack, and damage from normal attacks comes to mind Ayato. I don't know what normal fucking attacks come to my head a little bit more. That is, the sword of one hand attacks. So I don't think it's the big deal either, but don't throw away the gun banner is too bad. News drop marketing of Ororon and Chasca, and I understand that from here a week. And leave me the comments if you want the video as soon as possible, as the beta of the 5.2 will come out of here within a week. The Ororon kit will come out, and the Chasca and I have to see what they're doing because I can't imagine what they're doing. We just know that Chasca is an Emo, and that Ororon is Electro. So maybe for Hyper Bloom teams, maybe you don't know it's supposed to be outside the Ororon field because inside, we already have Cetos, Razor, and other characters. Carry Electro 4 stars are supposed to be 4 stars. The only 5 new stars is Chasca, and other than that you already have the pre-download of the 5.1, and as I say, we already have the news. That beta's gonna get out of here less than a week away, then there's enough information suggesting I'll bring you in another video about the banners, about 5.2, and about Mavuika, because to finish the video all over there is a leak. Which says that in the official data of the game, Mavuika currently has a placeholder with the stats and skills and talents. Xiangling, don't put on CEO. I'm not the CEO. I haven't repeated 80 times that Mavuika is a Xiangling 5 stars because I say many things and I can make a mistake and some right and some no, so don't start with the joke, little more leave a good like one. Good all media, subscribe, leave a good comment for algorithm. Thanks for enjoying and liking the channel video costs to us. Nothing helps a lot positions, recommends video, we grow a lot, so you know, like, subscribe with bell, thank you, and see you in another video.